On your Thursday lunch break, it's game day, the Browns and the Steelers. We're going to tell you about a strong message from one group of Browns fans to another. Plus, it was all about girl power last night at the CMA Awards. One star's strong message about equal play in the industry. And if you love hot chocolate, and who doesn't, stick around. We've got 3 recipes you'll want to know about. Your Thursday lunch break is underway.
It's your lunch break with Jay Crawford.
I think so. Hello, happy Thursday. It's game day, and welcome to Lunch Break. I am Jay Crawford, and Alexa Lee is joining us at the lunch table again. It's so good to have you back here.
It's good to be here.
We're talking about pickles just before the show started. You said, are pickles and cucumbers, are cucumbers also pickles? I think they are.
They're the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I hope I'm right on that.
Yeah.
Right? Am I, Stephanie? Okay, we are right on that. We're talking about pickles because today is Pickle Day.
Right.
So happy Pickle Day to you. I despise them. You love them.
I love them. When I was a kid, I used to drink pickle juice.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And people used to get, like that. Exactly. But I could eat pickles any time of the day. Any kind of pickle. I love sweet pickles. I love dill pickles. Love them all.
I'm phobic. If I get pickles on a sandwich after I've ordered it without, because I always do, I have to pick them off. And then oftentimes I can't even eat the sandwich because the juice soaks into the bun and it's gross and nasty and disgusting.
What don't you like? It's the...
I don't know. It's the sour... I don't know. I just don't like them. I don't like them. And I think the crunch,
I love the crunch.
Yeah, really, really nasty.
Pickle it on.
Okay, we digress. Let's get off pickles and let's, for now, talk about the Cleveland Browns. There it is. It is all ready for game day. Shiny and new. First Energy Stadium going to host the Steelers and the Browns tonight. Browns are 3-6. Steelers are 5-4. And this is pretty much just the way it is. If the Browns lose tonight, season over.
Yeah.
In my view.
You're
They'd
right.
be 3-7. I don't know how you get in the playoffs with a 9-7 record.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be
I think
good.
a lot of fans probably agree with you, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's a big game. I don't want to go too much into X and O's, but I will say one thing about that. If you're watching tonight, I believe that if you see the Browns running the ball more than they're passing the ball, their odds of winning go up with each running play they run. I say that because the Steelers' strength, they are 3rd in the NFL at sacking quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They are 2nd in the NFL at intercepting quarterbacks.
Ooh.
So if we're throwing the ball all over the place, or if we get behind early and we have to, I think it's going to be a very long night for the Browns. By the way, the Steelers have won 7 of the last 8 meetings.
And the last time the Browns won over the Steelers was what, 2014?
That's very good. It was 2014, which hurts my brain to think about that. It's been 5 years. That's terrible. When I think of Browns games, one that automatically comes to mind to me, I think I've seen every single one since I've been an adult, maybe for the last 40 years. I had to miss one. It was my wedding day.
Which I heard. That is amazing. Look at that picture. Now, how did that come to be?
First of all, I look 9.
You did? How old were you?
I was 22. And, well, it came to be because it was December 26th, 1987. And it was a Saturday game.
That was when I was born.
No, it's not.
On the 21st of December, but 1987.
So you were 5 days old when I was married.
I love this.
That's great. Anyhow, the Browns won that day, which I always thought was a good omen for our wedding and our marriage. They won 19-13. This is a true story. It was going on. Our wedding ceremony started the same time the game did. So I had an aunt, my godmother, who was a diehard Browns fan. This is a true story. She had a transistor radio in her purse with an earpiece in. And we had a code that I was going to look at her maybe once or twice during the ceremony, and she was going to either thumbs up or thumbs down. Ooh. The Browns had kicked an early field goal to take a 3-0 lead, and I look at my aunt, and she's all giddy, and she's going like this, and I couldn't tell my wife that I was doing that because she'd be furious. But all of my groomsmen were upset because they were missing the big Browns game. It was the last game of the year. We ended up winning the division. That was the year we lost in Denver on the fumble.
Okay.
But when I think of Browns-Steelers games, that's really the only one I think I've ever missed in my adult life.
That's how you know if the guys standing by your side are really good friends.
I know.
One's
exactly.
gone.
They were with me because they all showed up.
But thank God they won.
Oh,
for
my
your
God.
sake.
I know.
For your marriage.
I tell Bernie Kosar every time we talk about this, thank God that you had a great game and we won.
Yeah.
Now, you may be thinking about selling your tickets. Thankfully, my groomsmen sold their tickets to Browns fans. Stephanie Haney, our digital anchor, is here now. This has become a real issue this week because last week so many Browns fans sold their tickets because 2 and 6 they figured why go, and they sold them to Bills fans. So this is a big issue now.
Yeah. You're right. I just want to say though, I'm really thankful it was a thumbs up because you can imagine how that would look at your wedding if you're getting a thumbs down while you're at the altar.
You're standing at the altar.
That was a great day for you. For us Browns fans, this has potential to be the most wonderful day of the year for us, but you actually have a role to play in that, like Jay said. Everyone online, like Brandon Houston, is talking about not selling your tickets to Steelers fans. As you mentioned, this is after the Buffalo Bills fans basically took over Cleveland on Sunday. Now, if you weren't downtown or at that game, I can tell you firsthand, there were a lot of Bills fans in the stadium, and they were loud.
They were.
On Tuesday, our quarterback Baker Mayfield commented on how loud it was while we had the ball.
When we're on offense in a critical down, we need to be able to have silence in our home stadium. It's got to be an advantage for us, and then when they get the ball, it's got to be really loud. That's just, the basis of football.
In case you didn't know, we want it to be quiet when we have the ball so the players can hear their cues and don't do things like move too early, because that's how we get those penalties that push us back 5 yards. Now here's the thing, if you do resell your tickets, you can't control who buys them. So basically people are saying we all just need to show up even though it's kind of cold outside. That's what the person who runs Cleology Twitter account said, and apparently Browns owner J.W. Johnson agrees because he responded with the universal sign for it, a fist bump emoji. Kickoff tonight is at 8:20 tonight, and if you're not stuck at work, tailgaters will be able to get into the eastern end of the Muni Lot beginning at 2 p.m. and the western end, which is used for commuters, that opens for tailgaters starting at 5 p.m., which is just in time for all of us to head out there.
Yeah, it is. It's perfect timing for us. Just remember, kids and adults, no alcohol in the Muni Lot.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in the wink, wink.
Yeah, right. Stephanie, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Okay, next on the menu, last night's Country Music Awards. Well, Alexa, it was all about girl power. Look. Yeah, the show was hosted by Carrie Underwood, Reba McEntire, and Dolly Parton. How about that for star power?
I love it.
That is the star-studded cast. Jennifer Nettles of Sugarland had a very strong message for the country music DJs across the nation and really the industry in general. Her message was actually printed on the back of her, I guess it was her dress or there it is right here. It says, play our records, please and thank you.
At least she said please and thank you.
Yeah, which was very polite of her. We won't mention the expletive that she put on there, but you could probably figure out what it was.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. We got to wondering, and I asked Stephanie, can you do some research and let us know what the numbers are? And the numbers are very alarming.
Oh, yeah.
She found a study it's fairly recent. 19 years they went back, and they found that for every song played by a male artist, for a female artist, 4 songs are played by a male artist. So the play ratio is 4-to-1 male to female.
Wow.
Stunning. Because when you think of the women power in country music, for a long time Taylor Swift was primarily country. So they've got to fit. It's got to be fixed.
That's not okay.
It is not okay.
That is 100% not okay. And, there's a lot of talented female artists out there, obviously. And I know I want to hear their stories. And I'm sure a lot of people, men and women, want to hear their stories. Because really, when you sing a country music song, it's a story.
It's all about the song, the storytelling.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the women, as we've seen through the years, they can do it just as well as the men.
Yeah.
But for some reason, their songs aren't played nearly as frequently.
And by the way, that's across the board. That's in all different categories.
It does,
Not only do we want to be able to play, we want the pay.
Yeah.
We want, you can go in every category with this.
Yeah, equal pay is definitely a big issue right now, as it should be. Okay, earlier this week, Disney launched its new streaming service. We talked about this, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. They did it to much fanfare and way better than expected results. They were hoping that they'd get originally 4 to 5 million on initial launch. They have 10 million people already signed up to pay $7 a month for this streaming service. And some of you may notice that on some of the old content, these old classics, there's new content warnings. And we've got a shot of it here to show you. Classic movies like Peter Pan, Dumbo, and Lady and the Tramp all have a warning in the description saying this program is presented as originally created. It may contain outdated cultural depictions. I found that fascinating that they've chosen to put that on some of these old classics that seemingly are benign. I mean, Disney is about as politically correct an entertainment company as you can find. Now, I know these were old movies, but what's your take on that? You have a young girl that will be watching these movies.
Well, on one hand, it's like kudos to Disney for putting it out there, and acknowledging that. But on the other hand, I mean, we have a major responsibility when we put footage out for children to be seen, to see it. This is the first time in a lot of cases that they're maybe seeing characters from Africa or China, and it should be depicted correct.
Sure.
And I think it's something that maybe should be considered taken down. Listen, if it's culturally incorrect, then why are we playing it?
Yeah, and you know, there was an article in the Washington Post that agreed with that. The headline is that this is a good move, but experts say it doesn't go far enough. It's a starting point.
And that's the experts. We need to listen to the experts. They know what they're talking about.
Typically, they know what they're talking about. I was fascinated that they've gone that far, and even more fascinated to see that some think they need to do even more.
Yeah.
Okay, this could be controversial. Beginning in January, a high school in Butler County, Ohio will begin mandatory drug testing of all students. Here's the way it's going to work. You're guaranteed to be tested at least once during the school year. It's random, and there is a possibility that you could be tested multiple times.
Right.
Again, all random. The reason they're doing that there could be a second test, is you're never in the clear. There's always a threat of a looming drug test, and you don't know when this is going to happen. So here's the question on this one. Should parents be okay with that, or is this an invasion of young people's privacy? Where are you on that?
I think it's not an invasion of their privacy. The parents are choosing to send their kids to that school. The children are going to that school.
It is a Catholic school.
If you don't want to go, if you're not okay with that, then don't go to that school.
Yeah.
I think that it's we talked about it before the show. I think it's a great kind of way to get into adulthood. We do these things to prep our kids for adulthood.
Yeah.
In real life, you got to take drug tests when you go for a job, like you said.
Yeah.
So I'm with it.
First positive test, you have to go through counseling. Second test, positive, comprehensive intervention. And third could result, it doesn't say it will, but it could result in expulsion. I'm with you on this.
Yeah.
In real life, I had a drug test to get this job. That's the way it is in the United States of America. The whole idea, and this is what the school said on this, the impact of drug use on young students and their families is staggering, and our community is not immune to the issue. Being proactive on drug testing is the appropriate action on our part. Look, the earlier you can find out there is a problem, the sooner you can fix it.
Nip it in the butt, get those, when they're trying to, all these gateway drugs.
Yeah, I know, because one leads to another, leads to another. Get them early, and you might save lives.
Yeah.
Next on the menu, Holly Strano sits down with one of her good friends. They're going to talk about family struggles in our secret recipe series. That's next.
Mic check, check.
That's good, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Lunch Break. Infant loss is an incredibly painful subject. Miscarriage and stillbirth touches many families.
It does, absolutely. And this week, our Holly Strano sat down with a close friend who recently experienced such a loss.
I woke up to cramping, and almost immediately I started bleeding. And you hear the words, "There's no heartbeat." And that just ripped my heart out.
True friendship is about being there through the good times and the bad. Jessica Dambos has been one of my very best friends for more than a decade now. She's been by my side during my darkest times, and recently I've been there for her as she grieves the loss of her daughter Addison, who was stillborn this summer.
I'm not the best cook, but I cook from the heart. And I thought sugar cookies would be a really good thing to make because I would want to decorate cookies with Addison. I know that's something I would have wanted to do with her as I did with my mother and my grandmothers.
Okay, well, I'm honored to be a part of it. What do you need me to do?
Okay, so we'll start with the butter going in and just make sure, obviously, that it's softened. Go ahead and put flour in.
Okay.
That's 5 cups of flour, sugar.
Okay.
We definitely had some healing to do, and the grief process will go on, but we're starting to turn a corner, and we're starting to talk about Addison more.
It really does help.
I could not have done this a few months ago, but this is therapeutic now. But to have friends in your kitchen with you, and like you said, we've been through it all together. We need to celebrate her.
That's beautiful.
We now know what the cause was. It was a placental abruption. Happens in less than 1% of pregnancies. So we actually have her, and we talk to her like she's here. Behind me, this is her urn. And my husband picked out her urn. He wanted it to be girly because he was looking forward to having his little princess.
It's very you. The picture of her and Dan is beautiful.
Yes. The love and the pain all in his face. I knew that I needed that moment, kind of frozen.
Yeah.
The fact that we got to be with her for a little while means everything. This hat was so big on her, but she was so long that her knees were like curled up in here.
I can't believe how long she is.
Dan and I are really lucky that we have such a good support system, but we've been through this together. We're coming out on the other side together, and hopefully this will give some other parents hope.
I was going to ask you, because I know this is painfully hard to talk about, but what do you hope that other parents, people that have maybe been through this, will take away from it?
It's okay to ask about someone's child who has passed. I think it makes them feel like their child mattered. So I hope that starts to change and that it becomes a little more the norm because so many people go through it. Addison's memory is something that's very much alive in our house right now and always will be. And it doesn't mean that we're leaving Addie behind, but we kind of feel like she's moving forward with us. She'll have a sibling. And we just have to hope that the next pregnancy will be healthy and that we get to bring our next baby home with us.
Very difficult thing to go through. It was interesting, and I'm glad Holly asked that last question because I've known people that have gone through this, and I've always felt like I've always not asked because I don't want to upset them, and I've never known really what social decorum is. It's interesting to hear her say it's okay to ask. It reminds us that she's not forgotten, that she that she made a difference. Holly, terrific story. Thank you very much for that. We have a full list of mental health resources on WKYC.com. If you're going through something like this, or if you know someone that has and you feel that this will help, please pass this along to them. We'll also have the recipe for those sugar cookies that they were eating during the story on our website as well. Next on Lunch Break, if you think hot chocolate is simple and it's just an easy little drink, think again. 3 ways to spice up everyone's favorite cold weather drink. Alexa and I can't wait for this.
I'm gonna mess up for you. So don't worry about it.
I promise you that this is like.
Welcome back to Lunch Break. We're just chit-chatting about hot chocolate and trying to make our guest Kristen feel just right because is this your first time on television?
This is my first time on television.
Oh, listen,
so
you
we're
are
excited about
amazing.
that. Beautiful day here in Cleveland. We're excited right now because this is Kristen Logan.
Yeah.
She's from Phoenix Coffee, and she's going to show us 3 ways to make hot chocolate, which, Alexa, I thought there was one way to make hot chocolate.
I know, this is very interesting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're breaking it down to the science of it.
So you have 3 different recipes, essentially, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, what's first?
So I'm going to do a traditional recipe first. So basically, traditional hot chocolate, you want to always use milk. Milk has great fat content.
And I see you're using whole milk.
We're using whole milk
I'm a fan of that.
from Arps Dairy.
Okay.
We choose Arps because we can locally source the cows. Everything is very cut and dry, very simple, and it's super local. So we always want to make sure we support
I love that
as much
about
as
I like that
possible.
too.
And also in addition, we make our own chocolate every single day, small batches to keep everything fresh, keep everything precise, concise.
How does one make their own chocolate?
So we use organic fair trade dark cocoa
Wow.
from Ecuador. So every day we do a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, a little bit of water, and we literally make a chocolate base.
Okay,
so
let's make our first hot chocolate because
yeah.
I want to try
All
something.
right. So basically, for every 12 ounces of, every 12 ounce drink, you're going to use 4 ounces of chocolate. So you want to make sure that it's rich. You want to make sure that it goes.
It's going to be rich.
Oh, of course. So we have some chocolate here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this to this.
All 4 ounces?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And also, I'm going to go straight in here with the milk.
All right.
I love that it's all organic and fair trade.
Oh, yeah,
you know.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's important.
So this is just traditional. It's super simple. You know, you can do this anywhere. You can do this at home. You can go to a friend's house. If you're throwing in type of event, hot chocolate is just something that you always want to have.
And this is just the standard.
This is just standard.
Okay.
So,
Now you have 2 other drinks that you do.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's
So-
number 2 while I drink on number 1?
Oh yeah, you
you're
can definitely
going for
have
it.
number 1. So number 2, we're gonna go with incorporating vanilla and a little cinnamon. We also house make our vanilla every single day.
Wow.
We use fresh vanilla bean, and we just, like I said, small batches, so that way everything is consistent, and so that way everything is just extra tasty.
Extra tasty.
So with this one, we're gonna add a little milk as well.
Okay.
I just had a thought of me in my kitchen just pouring Nestle powder into it like a cup. And just, here you go, honey.
See, that's the thing, you know, we can we always have traditional hot chocolate, so that's why we want to just have different ways where we'll be able to jazz up. And as you see right here, we have the vanilla. Just smell it, just the essence of it.
Oh, goodness.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I have some vanilla pre-measured out as well, and I'm just going to add that into it.
Okay.
Add a little bit of the chocolate.
And now you put spices in to jazz it
I'm
up?
going to add a little bit of cinnamon here.
Ooh.
The cinnamon just gives it just a little flavor.
Alexa, you can try this one. Do you want this one?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Do you
try
want me to put
this
some
one.
whipped cream on this one?
We're rolling out of time. We're running out of time. So
That is the whipped cream. We also house make our whipped cream every single day. So like I said, at Phoenix, we want to make sure everything is fresh, everything is consistent.
go for it.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Well,
hey, yeah.
Kristen, thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Phoenix is great. They use all fresh and all local. More lunch break after this.
Awesome.
Give that a try.
Cheers.
Okay, we're out of time. We're back tomorrow at noon. Go Browns!
Let's go Browns!